All right, good morning, welcome everybody, welcome. If you're watching it on the replay, feel free to swipe to the right. Hey David, good morning, swipe to the right if you're on Apple, on the replay, up from the bottom if you're on Android, and then go ahead and share it with your friends, share it with Facebook and Twitter and Periscope and all those people. All right, and also go ahead and hit some hearts, go ahead and show some love. Hit the hearts, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the hearts, hit the screen for some hearts, all right? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you very much. Thanks for the hearts. Go ahead and share. Go ahead and share, you guys. Go ahead and share. You're the faithful that come back week after, I should say day after day. So go ahead, walaikum salam. Go ahead and share because we got some good stuff to share. Today is Freedom Friday. Freedom Friday. Hey, Bill Rob, how you doing? Thanks for inviting, David. Thank you very much. All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right, Green, welcome. Green Tie 1, welcome. Go ahead and put what city you guys are coming in from. Go ahead and put what city, your name and what city. All right, good morning over there in Meerkats. Hey, how you doing? Good morning, Sister Denise. New York City, welcome. New York City. All right, who else? Where are you coming from, you guys? All right, thank you very much. Mexico, all right, I should be down in Mexico, hopefully, David. I'm trying to get down there to Cancun within the next month, actually. Within the next month. Brother Muhammad, all right, from Detroit. I'll be in Detroit. Reach out to me, Brother Muhammad. I'll be in Detroit. As you know, I'll be in Detroit for Savior's Day, so let's connect, brother. Let's connect. All right. Welcome, everybody in Meerkat. Good morning. Let me straighten out Meerkat. It's top of the hour, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Living Chic, I see you. Go ahead and restream it for me, Living Chic. You always do. There you go. You almost beat me to it. All right, let me get my camera Meerkat situated. Meerkat. All right, sorry for the delay, you guys, but trying to get Meerkat situated. I thought I had it set. Thought I had Meerkat situated. Looks like, all right, I think we got it. All right, go ahead and invite. Go ahead and invite. All right, go ahead and invite. Good morning. How's everybody? All right, today's Freedom Friday. The last month in February. Today is Freedom Friday. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. My name is DarrellMuhammad. If you don't know me, my name is DarrellMuhammad. Real estate investor, trainer, mentor, coach, entrepreneur, businessman, you name it. Online, offline marketing, network marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, I've done a lot of things. Former stockbroker, you name it. Sales, always been in sales and marketing, love sales and marketing, and we'll get into that on another scope. All right. Always want to do some housekeeping items, how to reach me. I'm here to connect with you guys. All right. I'm here to connect. I'm here to find people like myself so we can connect. So how do you connect with me? All right, Periscope. There it is. Periscope at DarrellMuhammad. Periscope and Twitter at DarrellMuhammad. And then we have a fan page on Facebook. Is DarrellMuhammad fan page. DarrellMuhammad fan page on Facebook. All right. I want to encourage everybody to go to my website and become a member. Subscribe there, DarrellMuhammad.net. DarrellMuhammad.net. That's why I have everything. You know what I'm saying? I have everything that I'm doing right there on that website. So if you want to know in totality what I'm doing, what I'm actually engaged in from an income standpoint, brothers and sisters, you want to go here to DarrellMuhammad.net. And that's where we're going to start having a lot of private webinars and a lot of private events for those members there at DarrellMuhammad.net. Want to encourage you to go there and click on more. Hit that books list. I think it says reading list. hit the reading list and go ahead and purchase. I don't have it next to me. Go ahead and purchase Second Chance by Robert Kiyosaki. Brothers and sisters, go ahead and do that right now after this live stream from my site, because we're going to do some things here in 2016 in January around that book. I don't know if we're going to do a book club or a book mastermind group or whatever the case may be, but we're going to get into that book and we're going to come on either here on Periscope or Meerkat. We're going to either do it live stream or we're going to do it private. I'm not sure, but go ahead and go and purchase that book for your library and start reading it and studying it. Okay? All right. And also, if you like my message, brothers and sisters, if you want me to speak to any groups that you have, fraternity, sorority, church, mosque, men's group, women's group, webinar, teleconference, telephone, Skype, anything like that, reach out to me, because I want to get this message out. I want to do my part, and I want to exhaust myself. I want to give and give and give to see what capacity that I have to give. And that's the purpose of these live streams, brothers and sisters, to give back, right? Because, I had to look back and realize how blessed and fortunate that I am and have been over the years in my career. I've been blessed. God blessed me to be able to experience certain careers that most people don't experience, and especially black people don't experience. And that's, of course, being a stockbroker for a major Wall Street firm, being a successful real estate investor, and just a lot of other things, being successful in sales and marketing, being successful in network marketing. Those things are rarities, all right, especially in our community. So we're on a series, brothers and sisters, called The Money Game. I want to just share with you all that I know about the money game, right? All that I know about the money game. I'm not a guru. I'm not a New York bestseller, none of that stuff. I'm just a brother here that's not going to allow anything that I'm not to stop me from everything that I am. All right? So, the money game. Today is Freedom Friday, brothers and sisters. Freedom Friday. And if it's Freedom Friday, then the question is on the table, is, then what is your freedom number? What is your freedom number? Well, you were probably like me when I first heard that term. I didn't know what that was. I said, freedom number? What is that? I've heard of financial freedom. I've heard of freedom. I've heard of finance. I've never heard of what is my freedom number? What is my freedom number? And I mentioned on one of the previous scopes, the mindset of wealthy people, they don't think money per se. Their focus is not really on money. They're not obsessed with money. It may appear that way to us, right? And I'm sure there's always some that are. But I'm talking about those that really on a high level of sophistication and understanding. It's not money. It's not money. I took an economics class at Texas Southern University where I graduated from, and that's what the professor said. He was a brother from Ethiopia, I think. But he said, you don't want money. How many people want money? Everybody raise their hand. He said, you don't want money. You want what money can buy or what money can provide, right? He said, if you had $1 million in the bank, but you couldn't spend it, what good would the money be if you can't spend it? So understanding that it's not really money. It's what money can provide for you, right? It's what money can provide for you. So the rich people want options, right? They want options. They want options to be able to buy a Bugatti. They want an option of being able to buy an island or rent an island, right? They want these options. That's the freedom to do. The freedom to do. So really in truth, financially successful people that operate on a very high level, it's about freedom. They just understand that in a capitalistic society, it takes money to acquire and expose yourself, right, to a lot of this freedom. A lot of this freedom in this material plane that we live on, all right? So understand this as we get into the actual what it is. Just understand, brothers and sisters, freedom, not money. You want freedom not money, right? So the end all is freedom. The end all is not money. That's what I'm saying. All right? The end all is freedom. The end all is not money. Because if we make it either or we choose money, then you'll be a slave to money. A lot of people are slaves to money. They just don't think, right? A slave is one who act based on its training, not based on using its intelligence. So a lot of people are slaves to money. They just make money, make money, make money, make money, make money. They're just addicted to making money. They're slaves to making money. Right? Their joy is in the making money, not with the freedom. Right? They pride themselves in the money instead of priding themselves in the freedom. Right? Instead of priding themselves in the freedom, they pride themselves in the money. So a lot of people, they use money as an excuse to really be a slave. So we're not talking about that, all right? We're not talking about that. We're talking about freedom. We're talking about freedom. When you're free and you're not a slave to money, then you make a decision based on freedom, not based on money. So therefore, if it doesn't allow you to be free, you're not interested, right, in that money. You're not interested in that form of income if your pursuit and my pursuit is freedom and using money as freedom. I heard a saying that goes like this: money, right, is a great servant, but a terrible master, right? A great servant, but a terrible master. Somebody put that in the live stream to let me know that you're paying attention and not multitasking. Money is a great servant, but a terrible master, right? Slowly, okay, I got you. Because, yeah, you have to make the translation, right? Is that, that's not David in Mexico. All right, anyway, so money is a great servant, but a terrible master. A terrible master. So we're talking about financial freedom. Oh, Turkey. All right. Welcome, Turkey. Appreciate you. What time is it in Turkey? So we're talking about financial freedom, and we're trying to make a clear distinction in our heads, ladies and gentlemen, on the difference between the pursuit of money and the pursuit of freedom. So what's that? 7:10, I guess. 7:10. 7:10. What would that be? AM? No, PM. Okay. All right. So we're making a distinction. See, because we have to be clear. If we're going to play the money game to win, PM. Yep. If we're going to play the money game to win, then we have to be clear in our objective. Right? When a team runs out on the football field, they have to be clear on their objective. They have to be clear on their strategy. They have to be clear. The locker room. This is the locker room, brothers and sisters. So the locker room is here for us to clarify things, right? To make sure we're clear in mind. So our actions, all right, with your family, appreciate it. So your actions can be in alignment with your objectives, your goals. All right? And a lot of people who don't sit down on a regular and constant basis and make sure they're clear about money, then it stays foggy. Right? And they miss their goals. They miss their objectives. They lose time. They lose money. My job is to deliver you this message and for you and your family so we can be clear, so you can be clear on the money game. Right? If you want to know more about me, you Google me. If you want to know more about me, you go to DarrellMuhammad.net. All right? My job is what I'm doing right now to try to get this word out, this message out to as many people as I can. All right? That's what's been put on my heart, so that's what I'm doing. Thank you for asking. So clarity, brothers and sisters. Power comes with clarity. The clearer our vision is, right? Our intention, our purpose, the more power that it has, right? The more power that it has. So we're talking about the money game. The money game, and what is your freedom number? Hey, Letitia, what is your freedom number? What is your freedom number? See, See, we many times don't think about freedom. We're always focusing on your number. So, let me just tell you, what is your freedom number? That's a question, right? What is your freedom number? It's the amount of money you need to live your ideal life, your perfect life, the life that you want, right? Here's the clincher. Without having to work. Without having to work. What is the amount of money you need to live that ideal life that you're aspiring towards without having to work? Without having to work. Now, of course, the next intelligent question is, well, how do you get that number, Darrell? How do you come up with that number? Well, let me see if I can get a sheet of paper so I can just kind of write on here. Well, first of all, we're talking about your lifestyle. What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? What kind of lifestyle do you, when you're free, when you think about freedom, then we're talking about, let me just tell you what Robert Kiyosaki said, right? Robert Kiyosaki said, him and his wife, Kim, bought enough income-producing real estate, right? So they can quit their job as an educator. So at that point, they were financially free, meaning that they didn't have to work to have money coming in, right? And now he said he had time to invest on building wealth. He had time to invest in building wealth. So we're talking about your freedom number. What number will represent your freedom number? Well, it starts with your lifestyle. What kind of lifestyle do you want to have? Not now, not your budget, right? We're talking about in the future. Your ultimate lifestyle. What is the pinnacle point in your life, and what kind of lifestyle do you want to have, right? So here's, let me see, I got my marker. So here's some of the things. I got a different little smaller marker. So here's some of the things that you want to consider, right? What kind of home will you have, right? What kind of home? Furnishing, everything in your house, right? What kind of home do you want to have, right? What kind of car do you want to have, right? What is your life going to look like? If somebody was looking at a picture, right? You've achieved your financial goal in life. You're satisfied. You're content. And everything doesn't have to be extravagant. That's not what freedom is built on, right? So what does it look like? What kind of home do you have? What kind of car do you have? What kind of clothes do you have, right? What kind of clothes are you having, right? What makes up your lifestyle, right? What kind of vacation? What kind of vacation will you have, right? How many homes will you have if you want multiple homes? How many cars will you have? Will you have an RV so you can travel the countryside, travel the world? What kind of clothes will you have? We mean what kind of clothes? I mean, what kind of, how many? Some people want, they might want a fur coat. I don't know. But lifestyle, everything that makes up your life, you need to itemize what they are, right? Because the way you get your financial freedom number is in reverse. You paint your lifestyle. You paint your lifestyle. So what does it look like? How many vacations? Where would you go? Right? Where would you go? Where would you go? Food. Right? Say food. Why would you have to put that down? What, do you want a chef? Do you want to eat all organic food? Right? Do you just want to eat Angus steaks as far as beef is concerned? Right? So you can't not list. See, that's a part of financial, just dealing with your personal finances on a daily basis, is you list all your expenses. Right? So you want it, because that what makes up your lifestyle. Remember, we covered in the previous live stream, right? You have your expenses, which include your living expenses, and then your lifestyle, right? So your lifestyle includes your living expenses, but your living expenses don't include your lifestyle. We're talking about lifestyle, which includes both, right? So you want to list all those things You might be, I don't know, college expense might be on here. I don't know. Right? Or you might call it a trust. Right? You want to start a family trust. I don't know. But what does your life look like? You charity, right? Charity, right? For church, mosque, or organization, right? So you put charity down here. What kind of lifestyle do you want to have? What does it look like? What would people see from the outside, and what would you see from the inside looking out? Right? So that's what we're talking about. This is your lifestyle. So you want to do it in reverse. You want to do it in reverse. And we're going to open up for questions in about 5 minutes, okay? So if you have your questions, get them ready. Write them down on your notepad that you should be taking notes. And then we're going to ask them in about 5 minutes. So we're talking about your lifestyle, right? Okay? Your lifestyle. So this is what you want to do. You want to list what's required. And this is what we did right here. You want to list them, all right? That's step number one. To get in your freedom number, step number one is picture in your mind what your lifestyle is going to look like at your pinnacle point in life. All right? You don't have to know how you're going to do it now. You don't have to know how realistic it is. Hey, good morning, Thomas. It's not about that right now. It's about you dreaming like you used to dream when you were a little boy, a little girl. Right? That's what it's about. Shoot for the moon and you fall among the stars. That's what it's about. So step number one is list what will be included in your dream lifestyle. What will be included in your dream lifestyle? What will your home look like? Your car, your clothes, your vacation, your food. If you're going to set aside money for college or trust, a family trust for your children and grandchildren, right? Charity, how much you're going to personally give to your church or mosque or organization. Okay? Charity. So you list the items that's going to comprise this ideal dream life. We're talking about, I'm giving you steps for your freedom number. All right? See, because that's what happens. A lot of times we say, I want to be a multimillionaire, right? I want to make $500,000 a year. But there's nothing behind that number. Right? The number has no power, no energy, no force, because it doesn't have a purpose. It doesn't have an objective, right? It's just an arbitrary number, right? It's just a mirage. You see it, but there's nothing backing it. See, this is going to help you put some meat on those bones, as the old folks say. This is going to help you back it so you can come up with a number. And when you come up with your freedom number, you say, all right. So somebody, well, how you come up with that number? Oh, well, let me tell you. So you list it, number one. You list it. Number two, what you're going to do, number two is, now you're going to put a dollar amount. All right? So now you're going to put a dollar amount to each one of these. Well, how do you find out how much it is? I don't know. Go on the internet and Google it. Right? That means you have to describe the home. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, formal living, formal dining, 2-car garage, swimming pool in the back, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 square feet. Right? Okay? And you put that dollar amount. Where is it going to be? In Connecticut, in Texas, in California, in Hawaii, in Jamaica. See, so now you got to that's purposeful. And what kind of car? How much is that going to cost? Clothes. Right? You're going to have winter clothes and summer clothes and spring clothes and fall clothes. All right? So what kind of vacation? How many times a year? Where are you going to go? I always want to go to Africa. I always want to go to wherever. Right? So you put a dollar amount next to each one of these. Put a dollar amount next to each one of them. Right? Put a dollar amount. Now, after you do that, now you come up with a total. A total amount. And that total amount is your freedom number. Your freedom number. All right? That is your freedom number. That is the number that you need to come up with to live your ideal life. That's your maximum ideal life, right? Now, there's steps and intervals to get to this. You're not going to leap from making $100,000, $200,000 a year to this, right? So they're incremental financial freedom numbers, right? Just like there's elementary, then junior high, then high school, then college, right? So this is your ultimate financial freedom number. Now, there are some integral freedom numbers. See, we did reverse engineering for this number. See, so now this number has meaning. So what you do is now you have incremental financial freedom numbers, right? So you have incremental financial freedom numbers, right? This is your ultimate destination. But if I live in Houston and I want to go to California, well, there's cities in between. I can't bypass them, even if I flew, right? Even if I flew, I'm flying over them, so I can't get past them. So to get to this destination, you have to do an incremental financial freedom goals. And that will give you encouragement. That'll help you fine-tune this number and then make it more real, right? Make it more real. If you're not making progress, you're not making traction, it becomes very discouraging. If the goal is too big, if you need, $15 trillion and you're at $100 right now, see, that'll be very, very discouraging. Very, very discouraging. But if you set incremental financial, or I should say freedom numbers, right? Right now, okay, the lifestyle I have now, you list it. Then you add a little, you list it, which includes your living expense and your lifestyle. And what's that number? Right? Now you shoot for that number. All right? Then you get that number without having to work. See, that's the key part. Without having to work. So you get that number. Now you have the freedom and the time to go after this larger number by hitting your incremental freedom numbers. All right? So that's the message for today. Hopefully brothers and sisters, that has helped you and it helped clarify and help you to understand this money game is how it's played. And see, that's an internal game. It has nothing to do with you competing against anybody else, because in the money game, you don't compete against anybody else. You only compete against yourself. You compete against the potential that you have that has yet to be manifested. All right. So hopefully that helps out. Hopefully that gives you and I a better understanding on what it takes to play the money game and play it to win. Play it to win. All right. So remember, go to DarrellMuhammad.net. All right. Sign up there so you can get on the special list of up and coming events and up and coming private events that we're going to have. And we're going to do more personal engagement, not one-on-one, but engaging with each other personally. All right. If you have any questions right now, ladies and gentlemen, put it in your live stream right there. If you have any questions, put it in your live stream. It's not too late to share it. Hit the paradude to share. All right. Because you have any questions, let's go ahead and take care of those right now. But that was, what is your freedom number? What is your freedom number for today, Friday, Freedom Friday? All right. No questions. Going once. Living Chic, how you doing over there? Thanks for being here. All right. Thanks for being here. You guys, let me know where you're coming from and ask you a question. Any question about your freedom number? The objective is freedom, not money. Because if we focus entirely on money, then it would be easy for us to become a slave to money and not in the pursuit for freedom. Freedom, right? United States of America was built on freedom, the land of the free. Do you do any events in South Carolina? No, I don't have any, sister, but if you reach out to me, right, I can come to South Carolina on your behalf. And if you reach out to me today, I'll tell you how you can get me to come there for free. All right. So if you have any church sorority or women's group or young girls group or men's group or anything like that, that you think they need this message, then reach out to me. Go to DarrellMuhammad.net, right? DarrellMuhammad.net, hit the contact button, put in your message, and then I'll respond to you and tell you how you can get me to come there for free. I mean, live in person for free. So I would love to come to South Carolina. I haven't been there. I heard it's beautiful. I heard there's a lot of mostly about real estate. No, I mean anything that I covered. Real estate, personal financing, networking, network marketing, sales, marketing, online marketing, those things that entrepreneurs need to be successful. That's what I've been engaged in and working in for the past 30 years, right? Motivational. If they just need motivation, then, it takes motivation for an entrepreneur to go out every day and do what they have to do. So even though they may not be a motivational speaker, surely they can speak, right? And they've motivated themselves enough to do what most people never do, and that's to become an entrepreneur, right? And sustain in that space for any extended period of time, all right? So any questions? Thank you for that. Letitia, thank you for that question. So go to DarrellMuhammad.net, click contact, put in your information and your request and your comment or whatever it is, and I'll respond to you as soon as I get it and see it, all right? But I'll come to South Carolina by your invitation, free of charge, and I'll tell you how to do that. Just go to my website and hit contact and put your information in, okay? All right, so any other questions? Thank you for that question. I'm sure other people may have that same question too, all right? Remember, brothers and sisters, you can watch this over and over and over again for 24 hours on Periscope, all right? And you can go back and watch it, and you can hit the hearts during the replay, and you can share it by swiping, all right, from right to left or left to right for Apple, from the bottom to the top for Android, and share it. Share it, ladies and gentlemen, because I can't tell you and I can't express enough. We have to take financial responsibility for ourselves. This government has no money. Now you just wait until Obama gets out of office and you watch and see how more difficult, financially difficult things are going to be for most of us. And just because it hasn't touched me now, or maybe hasn't touched you now, that's not for us to get comfortable. All right? We need to put a buffer between us and the oncoming accident. Right? That is bound to happen. Unless you're going to leave America, move out of America, unless you don't have any children, right? And you're only concerned about yourself, and if things get real bad, you'll crawl underneath a rock and die, then we need to start putting some financial buffers in place that can absorb the impact of this financial fall here in America. All right? That's not me saying it. That's the experts saying it. All right? That's not emotional. That's factual. All right? So with that being said, brothers and sisters, thank you for being here. Today is Freedom Friday. Right? Freedom Friday. Focus on freedom. So thank you for being here. And as always, I'll see you at the top. Not from the top, because you, your family, but most importantly, your community deserves your very best. All right? I'll see you this weekend. We'll be popping in and out with some commentary and some fun stuff. And just kind of letting our hair down a little bit on these weekend live streams. All right? So until next time, ladies and gentlemen.